Hello, New Testament students. Welcome to weeks 7 and 8 in our class. This week is another double week. Study days is technically week 7, so you're going to have 2 weeks to finish all the material for this week. We moved this week from the Synoptic Gospels to the Gospel of John. And so we're going to do a little bit of a compare and contrast with the Synoptics and John, seeing how John is in some ways similar to the Synoptics, but in many ways different from the Synoptics. And so by the end of the week, you should be able to articulate in about 2 paragraphs those similarities and differences. You should also be able to articulate a position. I'm going to give you 3 different options for authorship on the Gospel of John. And then the last objective for the week is to be able to articulate the ways that John's presentation of Jesus most significantly differs from the Synoptics. So how do you see specifically John's presentation of Jesus, what he says and indicates about Jesus, being different from what we find in the Synoptics? And this is largely going to come out of your own reading of the Gospel of John in comparison with the Synoptics. As far as the assignments or the grade items for this week, we do have a major grade item due in the Narrative Gospels assignment. This is engaging Janine Brown's book that I'm going to ask you to sort of engage her narrative critical methodology. So explain from your reading of Brown what narrative criticism is, what the tools of it are, and then apply it to one of the Gospels so that you might you have a number of different options of how you might engage a gospel narrative critically. You might look at characters in Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. You might look at settings in Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. But taking one of the aspects of narrative criticism that Brown talks about and applying it to your own reading of one of the canonical gospels, whether it be Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. And then we have, as always, course notes. A forewarning here. I did not build the lecture pause into the video itself this week, but it's going to, the lecture pause, there's just one of them for this week. It's going to ask you to reflect on the Gospel of John with respect to its similarities and differences from the Synoptic Gospels, to sort of recap one of the lecture videos. And lastly, the forum, once again, you're going to have choices. You're going to have 4 different choices for what you do in the forums. It's going to ask you to make an argument for which gospel is the best gospel. And the term best is left intentionally vague, up to you to define in a way. So you're going to present a case, whatever gospel is the best gospel, and then your peers in that forum are also going to be of that position. And together you're going to present your best case for XYZ gospel being the best gospel. So you're presenting that case to me as the professor. I'm looking at the 4 different forums and, making my determination of what is the best gospel based on the arguments that are made in the forum itself.